Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Quick follow-up video to today's live stream. If you missed today's live stream, it was the third I've done on the Los Angeles fires caused by the windstorm in relation to the Jesuits, where, of course, their founder, Ignatius of Loyola, said, "Go forth and set the world on fire." And a lot of fires in history that are in the history books, there's been suspicions that they were set by Jesuits, including the Great London Fire, the Chicago Fire. Again, these people have a history. Again, the founders warned about the Jesuits. There's a reason they've been suppressed by the Pope and banned in countries. There's a reason this fire is perfectly synced with the Jesuit-educated Governor Gavin Newsom, as well as the leader of the Jesuits, Arturo Sosa. Again, all points we've covered. But something very interesting that came up today is Jesuit-educated singer Lana Del Rey. She put out a song in 2019 called The Greatest, which closes with lyrics about fires in Hawaii and Los Angeles. And as I'd already been pointing out, the fire in Maui that began August 8th and ended August 9th, 2023, is perfectly synced with this fire in Los Angeles. And remember, when that fire happened in Maui, the governor was out of the state, and who was the acting governor? The lieutenant governor, who was Jesuit educated in California at the University of San Francisco. But look at this about Lana Del Rey in light of these Jesuits. She is Jesuit educated and went to Fordham, like Donald Trump, same guy who had his ex-wife die by the numbers 45 years after their marriage, before she was buried on the 201st day of the year. Notice from Lana Del Rey's June 21st birthday until the fire starting on January 7th was the 201st day of her age. And again, if you're new here, the Jesuits are into the occult. They're into Kabbalah. Within Kabbalah, there's a practice of coding numbers into words. It's very clear that in the 16th century, when the Jesuits gave us the calendar that said this fire began on January 7th, 2025, again, this calendar, the Gregorian calendar named after the Pope, is credited to the Jesuit priest Christopher Clavius. But at that same moment in the 16th century, when this calendar was implemented, the English alphabet was standardized with 26 letters. A system was put in place. There are 4 base ciphers of the English language. A, B, C is 1, 2, 3, up to Z is 26. That's the most simple cipher. The alphabetic order with numerology is the next. The reverse alphabetic order, just running it in reverse, Z is 1 back to A is 26, is the next. And then the one after that's the reverse alphabetic order with numerology. But you can see the overlap with the Jesuit order and weather control. And remember, the first act of weather warfare that was ever admitted to was August 15th, 1952, on the anniversary of the Jesuits being established. And these same numbers have come up in a bazillion different strange weather phenomenon that we've documented over the years. So now here's Lana Del Rey, who has this song that closes out with the words, "Hawaii just missed a fireball, LA is in flames, it's getting hot." Again, funny enough, this song, or from her birthday to this fire starting in LA, the 201st day of her age. And remember, we've been talking about how the fire began on the 121st day of the state's age, the state of California. Her birth name, Elizabeth Woolridge Grant, is 121. They're referring to this fire as apocalyptic in LA. L's the 12th letter, A's the first, 12-1, like 121. You can see the overlap with apocalyptic and Revelation. You can see how they have the 59 connection from her song coming out to the fire was 277 weeks and days later. That's the 59th prime number. For the record, her song September 13th, its release date, that's the 256th day of the year. Her full name, Elizabeth Woolridge Grant, is also 256. You can see that 256th is the 201st composite number, just to make no mistake about everything. And then also from the leader of the Jesuits' birthday to the fire's beginning was 56 days later. That's the favorite number of the Jesuits. Lana Del Rey equals 56 in the same way Gavin Newsom does, the same guy who locked down his state back in 2020, saying 56% will get the virus in 8 weeks, which is 56 days. And the name of the virus was also 56 because the Jesuits just can't get enough of their rituals in this one specific number. Just like how the pandemic began 56 years after Trump's Jesuit education began at Fordham. And he went to Fordham like Andrew Cuomo, the 56th governor of New York. And, of course, Anthony Fauci, Jesuit educated at Holy Cross. And Anthony Fauci, another 56, and on and on and on. But you can see Lana Del Rey, 56, like Society of Jesus, like natural disaster, like climate change. Again, the first act of weather warfare ever admitted to was on the Jesuit order's birthday. Weather warfare, it's hard to differentiate between nature and military. And remember, the Jesuits are the military order of the Pope that operate in 112 countries, including the United States of America. Also, call it a coincidence, but Cat Power has the album The Greatest, which released on the 20th day of January, 20/1, which is also the 201st day of the nation's age. That's why the Jesuits moved the capital to their stronghold, D.C., and inauguration day to that day. It's part of why Trump sacrificed his ex-wife 60 weeks into the first ever Jesuitic nation year before he won the 60th rigged election, before he gets inaugurated in a 201 ritual. But Cat Power's album, The Greatest, is in tribute to Muhammad Ali, which is also 201. Poor Muhammad Ali, we told you why he died at 74, 4 years before he died at 74. And of course, he died on June 3rd in 2016, when 2016 is the 63rd triangular number and the Prophet Muhammad died at age 63. That was a mean, ice-cold Jesuit ritual too. R.I.P. Ali. But yeah, this woman, her song releases by the numbers, the fires by the numbers synced up with the song. This is what we call predictive programming. There's a lot of this in history. It ain't nothing new. All right, now with regards to 201, look at the new fire chief, or the newer fire chief in Los Angeles, the DEI hire. Notice her name, Kristen Crowley. You see the 201 and the 177, like how the Jesuit order and weather control have the 201 and 177. She's also got the 75 like weather control. And she became the fire chief on the 84th day of the year. You can see where that fits in with the Jesuit order, March 25th, 2019. From the day that she became fire chief, or did I say 2019? March 25th, 2022 is the day she became fire chief. The Lana Del Rey song was from 2019. This woman is the 19th fire chief. 19 is the chaos code, but that's why you got 19 hijackers on 9/11 when 2 towers became 0 before they became 1. And then 19 years later, you got Cooties 19 after the Event 201 simulation put on by the Jesuit Klaus Schwab. But anyway, you can see that from when she became fire chief to the Santa Ana winds, starting the fires January 7th, that was 145 weeks and days later. 145 weeks and days. And remember, the fire began 145 days after the Jesuit order's birthday, August 15th, which is also the anniversary of the first act of weather warfare being admitted to. Look at Santa Ana winds. Look at how Santa Ana, look at the gematria in light of what's going on here. 71, like how the date can be written 7/1, 7th of January, the day it began. Or January 7th, 1/7, Santa Ana 17. Or 145, like 145 weeks later. Or 145 days again after the Jesuit order's birthday. 55, also like military in Ventura County, where the fires are a-burning. But yeah, also that surname Crowley, because like I said, Aleister Crowley died on December 1st. They're comparing this windstorm to that of December 1st, 2011. 121 has a square root of 11. 121, 121st day of the state's age this time. And the last time the windstorm predominantly impacted Pasadena, where Aleister Crowley supposedly opened a portal to hell. And Aleister Crowley had the occult religion Thelema. It's funny that windstorm was 64 years to the day of his death back in 2011. But in light of him opening this portal to hell at Devil's Gate in Pasadena, again, here we are in 2025 with now a Crowley in charge and, another massive windstorm causing even worse property damage by a lot. But again, Pasadena has that 25 connection like devil, like fire, and Aleister Crowley became the head of the OTO in 1925, so 100 years ago. Isn't it all so strange? And again, we just saw Ohio State pick up their 25th bowl win in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl just days ago. They did it over Oregon, which equals 25 to start 2025 on New Year's Day. They're from Columbus, which equals 25, where they killed Johnny Hockey, Johnny Gaudreau, right as the college football season was getting underway. Number 13 is Oregon State keeps the Ducks on 13 wins. Again, there's just so many evil things going on, and so many people need to get clued in to help stop this evil. From the ritual murder to, the destroying of people with weather warfare by the same old code that we've talked about 1,000 times. You guys remember when Yellowstone got that once-in-a-1,000-year rain event and it destroyed parts of the park on the day leaving 201 days left in the year, right after Bill Gates started constructing his new experimental nuclear reactor not far away because he says only nuclear energy can save us from carbon emissions. And the next thing you know, Gavin Newsom, 201 days after his birthdays, saying he wants to hang on to the nuclear reactor at Diablo Canyon, and on and on and on. The crazy rain event this year in Dubai, 201 days from the anniversary of JFK's weather control speech. JFK, September 25th, 1961, spoke to the United Nations about the future of weather control, how we can use it to make sure there's no drought, no famine. Again, they're saying it was such a dry season that it set this up with the crazy wind, the dryness. It was the perfect storm. Why didn't we do what we were doing back in the 60s and bring in some cloud seeding and get some of that moisture from the Pacific to lay down some water on Los Angeles so it didn't have to burn up? I'm sure there's certain people that, they're licking their chops right now with all that new open real estate in Malibu now that all those beachfront properties are just out of there. Looks like a war zone, like it always does after these strange acts. Again, if you missed everything else that's going on, how this is connected to the Paradise and Los Angeles fire of November 8, 2018, the Malibu fire, and more, go back and check everything else we put out. But again, these Jesuits, they even got the Jesuit singers' songs synced up with what they've done. It's insane. All right, we'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. Thank you to everyone who hits like and the share. Thank you to everyone who supports the work. If we could get more people to support the work, we could turn this into a real news organization and maybe actually change the world, because we'd get real news, real information out into people's minds, into their hands, so that they can become more empowered and help stop this evil cabal that's hijacked this nation and is using our taxpayer dollars and our military to do these exact kind of things to ruin us. We're being paid. We're being made to pay for our own destruction. And I've been saying this for a long time, that if people don't wake up to what we're putting out and what we're putting down, which is the most important information in the world, no cap, again, this can all be stopped. And had the information spread like wildfire, like it should have a long time ago, this probably wouldn't have happened to Los Angeles or a lot of other places, including Maui and everything else we've documented. Hell, people should have found out about this before Paradise and Los Angeles burned up in 2018, because we've been on it since way before that. Still, the world sleeps on this knowledge all these years later. Till next time, Truth Seeker.